back. Hey, everybody, it's your host, Darren Carter, the party starter, with my buddy, John DiResta.
Thank you.
He's the best.
Hey-oh.
Forget the rest.
Oh, zing.
Oh yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Time to get that party started all up in your ear holes. Here we go. When you had a bad day and you want those bad vibes to go away.
When every day life gets harder, Darren,
Carter,
you need the party starter.
it's the Pocket Party Podcast.
With the run
Pocket Party Podcast.
in your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast.
It's in your ear holes.
Pocket Party Podcast. Oh, if your day needed a booster, then you need to talk to Red Rooster. Mr. Carter about to take you to school. Here we go. Don't hurt nobody and don't hurt yourself.
Is that a party in your pocket?
You probably heard all these kind of things, huh?
No, as a cop, ready for this?
Yeah.
How many people did you put under DiResta? And there's certain people that think my last name is DiResta.
Oh, DiResta.
You know, just they caught on 30 years ago and no one ever corrected them.
Oh,
I get that a lot. Aren't you DiResta? You're John DiResta, right?
that's funny.
John
Yeah, 'cause-
DiResta.
Oh, there's a comedian named John DiResta. That's weird,
I'm
right?
John DiResta. He's John DiResta.
Like there's a Tom McGillen and a Don McMillan comedians. Two different
And watch
comedians.
this.
Yeah.
There's a Jimmy DiResta and a John DiResta.
Yeah.
You say tomato, I say tomato. Right?
Right.
I get recognized as Jimmy about once a month.
That's kind of cool. It's like a teeter-totter, right?
No,
Like, was there
it's-
was a point where you were like the movie star working with 6 Oscar winners, and at that time, what was he doing?
He was in the toy business, but
Yeah.
and also
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
in the TV business a few times with me.
Okay,
You know,
so
he
that
was
good.
he was up and
Yeah.
running. But yeah, I guess at the time that I had the tiniest little bit of anything.
Yeah, I'm on Stern, all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
the Tonight Show. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Panel guest.
That's
Okay.
good. Big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Angela Bassett, Emmylou Harris, and John DiResta.
Nice.
Right?
When I was on the Tonight Show, it was Lily Sobieski, Michael Caine,
Whoa.
Darren Carter.
And 2 people that night I worked with. 3. You, Michael
Yeah.
Caine, and Jay Leno.
Wow.
Right?
It's a
Just
small
3.
world.
Listen,
Yeah.
after all.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
be hacky. So then you fast forward, and now your brother's blown up. He's got millions of fans around the world.
Right. He's got a lot of fans, and about once a month, twice a month, usually Home Depot or at a flea market or at a garage sale, someone hears my voice and says, "Oh my God, I can't!" Especially when we had the masks.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe it's you. All I do is watch your videos. My wife hates you. No Hollywood writer could write that. That
Wow.
someone leans into me and says, "My wife hates you," because all I do is watch your videos.
Oh, it's
And I
funny.
let him get it all out, and I just go, "I'm not him. I'm the dumb brother from Long Island."
Wow.
And no, I like you too. I heard about you.
I heard
You were
about
like
you.
in
Yeah.
you were in Mystic Pizza, weren't you in Mystic Pizza? You were in
hilarious.
Mystic Pizza, right?
Hey, by the way, I had an interesting thing happen this week, dude. Check this out. I got to ask you if this is...
I'm not gay.
No, I got another story for you. So I'm walking down the street, and here's the thing that I notice about walking. When I like to walk, is I very rarely stare at my phone. I mean, I might like forward to like a certain song or skip over, whatever, something.
Right.
But I'm not one of those guys that like a zombie, like staring at my phone walking down the street. I don't like to do that,
Okay.
And so and because of that, I oftentimes I'll find things on the street. Like I've taken photos for you. I'm like, hey, here's some cool furniture. Here's a cool mirror.
That mirror right there was sourced by your walk.
That's good.
That's it. Remember the big metal one?
That's a good mirror. How much do you think you could sell that big mirror for?
Probably $200-$300.
That's good. And I'm always seeing stuff like sometimes you're like, I'm on my way to downtown LA, I can't get it or whatever.
Right.
But I like to. It's kind of cool to do that.
No, watch this. I think, and maybe we'll take it to Shark Tank. It's a website where people.
Yeah.
Like I was in Milwaukee once, and I found the greatest old plank. It was like 20 feet by like 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
By like 15 inches wide. Like it was a plank from like 100 years ago that could have made like five, 3 of these.
Yeah.
And I had no one to tell. Had I,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like if you
For a minimal fee,
like
99
boom,
cents
you
a
put it
month.
up, and then someone gets it, and then you get like a
It's-
finder's fee. And
Listen, and send your videos.
yeah,
Dude, pound it.
pound it. By
In
the
my
way,
balls.
you guys, we have new stickers. Look at that, Pocket Party Podcast right over my shoulder. Boom.
Yo.
John was nice enough to let me put it right there on the wall. Look at that. He said, "No." I go. Can I put it up there fake, which is like Scotch tape? He's like, "No, put it on there. Put 5." I brought 4, so it's
Listen.
right there. Boom.
It's all good.
By the way, let's dates out the gates. If you guys are going to be in the Burbank area, I'm doing a big show with John DiResta and
here we
also
go.
Mike Black, Pocket Party Podcast. We're doing stand up, and then we'll all be on stage at the same time, doing like a little mini podcast. And that date, go to Flappers. That's where the tickets are at Flappers in Burbank. And
What's the date?
the date is, as I'm looking for it, it is June 24th. So Friday, June 24th, 7:30, Flappers in the Yoo-Hoo Room. Go to the Yoo-Hoo Room. That's where we do the comedy show. Darren Carter, John DiResta, June 24th, Friday.
There we go.
Check it out. You got to go to that. But
Thank you.
So back to my story. So I'm walking down the street. I'm walking over by Warner Brothers, and what do I see? I look down. I find $100 bill. Look at this. I'm going to show this to you. Do you know about this? Dude,
I do not.
have you ever found...
Money in the subway as a New York City cop.
I was going to ask you, what's
twice.
What's the most amount of money you've found?
Maybe like 40 or 50, not a lot. But one time I was training a rookie, and he was from my hometown. Like all of a sudden now, the guy used to hang out with in my clubhouse, and we'd
Yeah.
smoke pot.
Yeah.
Now we're both New York City cops. But he has 2 days on the job, and I have 10.
Yeah.
And I got to train him. So there's a bit of a mutual hello, and you know what I mean? But we never liked each other back then, and now we're stuck with each other.
Oh.
And me being the seasoned old cop saying the job sucks.
Yeah.
And he's got 1 day on the job. Make a long story short, we were standing in Coney Island, and him and I just all alone, and I looked down and I just saw, whoosh, I put my foot on top of a $20 bill.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and kept it, which you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And then another time,
You're supposed to turn it into the Lost and Found.
that
or
one was
something?
in. Well, I don't know. That one was in Coney Island, and then another one I still remember was like on the streets by Rodney Dangerfield's comedy club.
Yeah.
You know, like that side of Manhattan, like
Yeah.
59th and First. And we got out of the homeless outreach van to get pizza, and this was a bigger chunk of money.
Ooh.
And I snapped my foot down in front of the other cops. It's just a funny thing that's it. It's yours. There's
wow.
there's no questions asked.
Oh, that's cool. Did you pick it up and count it?
Again, it was probably 40 or 50. It didn't break the bank, but I remember those 2 incidents.
I remember one night coming home from the Laugh Factory, I saw like a 20, a 10, a 5, and some 1s, all sort of scattered, like within a 5-foot radius.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It's like, whoa. Like it's a good feeling when that happens. When you're like, when you know what I mean? When you're like, I just found money. What the heck?
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Okay, so I'm walking down the street, and I just had the photo. Where the heck did it go? Boy. Okay, so I'm walking down the street. I don't know. You guys go to my Instagram, Darren Carter, official Darren Carter, and you will see it. I have the front and the back of the $100 bill. You can see it. So check this out. That's it right there. That's the $100 bill,
Okay. Looks good so far.
and that's the back of it.
Looks good to me.
So look, it looks good, right?
Right.
There's the little stripe, the thing that goes down the center.
Right.
There's the back, but it didn't. It felt kind of real, like it felt real, but then there was half of it felt real, but the other half felt like this feels like weird paper. This doesn't. I'm like, something's weird about this, but. And then I thought, there's a bank about a 10-minute walk away, and I was already on an exercise walk, so I thought, well, let me just walk down there. So as I was walking, I started playing out different scenarios where I thought, what if I go there and it's counterfeit? And now I'm like,
yeah, you're sucked in.
yeah, what if they're like, sir, can we have your driver's license, your ID?
Yeah, just step to the side.
Yeah, so the police
Keep
are
your
on the
hands
way.
where we could see them.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? And I know you could walk in with masks and stuff now to a bank, but I don't want to do that. I already felt weird going into the bank.
Right.
I haven't been in the bank in a while. And I'm walking, I have a straw hat and I have sunglasses. So I already look kind of fishy,
Right.
like Mad Magazine, Spy versus Spy. So I immediately take the sunglasses off. I walk in, I'm standing in line, and I'm playing out these scenarios. Number one, if it's real, it's cool. It's my $100 bill. Maybe I'll exchange it for some 20s, second thought was, what if it's fake and they're like thinking I'm there to test it? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
like oh,
dude.
are you sure it's real? You sure it's real?
You
know what
just
I mean? Like,
need one security guard
Yeah.
that failed the police exam,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you're eating the carpet.
yeah, where they're
And
like,
they're hog tying you.
yeah, exactly. Right? Where I'm like,
You're eating the carpet.
yeah, right, exactly. Where I'm like, you guys think that looks real? You think it looks real? You did, Carl, make more, Carl, you know, or whatever. So I'm standing in line.
10-13.
Yeah, exactly. 10-13. Shots fired. But I'm thinking, you know what? It's, I know I'm a good guy, but they don't know I'm a good guy. But I know I'm a good guy. But
No,
I'm still,
you need
yeah.
one security guard that failed the police exam, and he's going to make an arrest. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And I'm looking around going,
You have a counterfeit $100 bill. It came from somewhere, right?
And I'm going to be like, I literally found it on the street out there. And I know exactly already. But I'm like, something was like telling me to go there. I don't know. So I'm standing in line and we're all moving up. And then finally it was my turn to be next. Something wrong? You're looking around.
No.
Okay. I'm always afraid something's going to fail with the technology.
No. I don't know why.
So I'm like, okay, I'm next. And I thought, let me look at this bill one more time. And I'm really looking at it. Dude, you know what I realized?
What?
It was fake. And how did I realize it? Well, number one, I'm not in the sunlight anymore. And I'm in the bank and I'm really looking at it. And also, before I think I wanted it to be real, like I look on the back. Here's the word, gave it away was the back of the bill. Usually it would say, "In God we trust." On the back it says, "In props we trust."
Whoa.
It was from a movie set.
Whoa.
And on the front of the bill, and I noticed it more on the phone than I did in real life, it says motion picture. So you didn't see how you didn't notice?
Yeah,
I didn't either because I didn't have my reading glasses on. I wanted it to be real. But look, I'm going to show you right here. Look right there.
That's funny.
Motion pictures.
Yeah, that's
Right
awesome.
there. But see, it looks real, right? With that stripe and the whole Benjamin Franklin. I mean, I'm looking at the serial number. And then right there, look. In props we trust. See that right there? In props we trust. Yeah. Like,
Alec Baldwin can't say that.
ooh, yikes.
Sorry. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
10-13.
10-13.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I took a couple of photos, those two photos, and I ripped it up and I threw it away because I didn't even want to be tempted to spend it.
Okay, so
or
look,
accidentally spend it.
let's iron out the yin and the yang here.
Okay.
You get it? Yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yank.
I sold a piece of furniture, custom made, $1,400 upfront cash. That
Yeah.
was the negotiated price.
Right.
I count out $1,400 bills at this table.
Yeah.
And 13 all look alike, and one looks like a paper, like that we got in the paper used like it when you'd get a dollar bill when you were 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
that old paper.
So you were receiving the 1,400
I was receiving 1,300 that looked legit and one that didn't.
from the customer, and you were counting it right in front of them, or after you got home?
No, after I got home. But I didn't know. I chipped it down to my daughter. She's my assistant. So I chipped off the first hunch.
Yeah.
Would you call it a hunch or would you call it a sheboygan?
Sheboygan? No, I'd call it 100. I would say 100.
Yeah.
But you know.
No, I'm giving you have A or B. A hunch
I'd say hunch.
or a sheboygan.
Sheboygan. I would not say Sheboygan.
You're right. It's called a hunch. You know why?
Because it sounds like 100.
No, because Sheboygan is stupid. You get it? No matter
Yeah.
what you said, I would have agreed with.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sheboygan.
Yeah. No.
Do you call it
Because
a
hunch is stupid.
Do you call it a turkey sandwich or do you call it a Sheboygan?
What I only know a $100 bill is a Sheboygan,
I've
not
never-
as a turkey sandwich.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, no, it's a hunch or a Sheboygan.
Oh, well, I heard Sheboygan was like a town or something.
It is a town, but in certain parts, I think I picked it up from, probably an old mob movie that they probably made it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember all about the Benjamins, and they called it 100 a Benjamin.
Yeah. Well, okay, so watch
Okay.
this. I give it to my daughter. She goes to use it somewhere in Reseda. They give it back to her and say it's counterfeit. So now it's a counterfeit bill.
Yeah.
So now
You gave it to her knowing it was counterfeit?
no, not
Or
at
you-
all.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Okay.
It looked like it just an old $100 bill,
Yeah.
like an old one.
Yeah.
And it felt like an old one.
Yeah.
So
And you wanted it to be an old one.
I wanted it to be an old one because
Yeah.
now I know somewhere along the way I'm going to have to eat this $100 shit sandwich.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you what happened with it. So she gives it back to me, and I give her one of the other ones. Now I have the counterfeit bill, and I'm like, what do I do with it? Same with you. Do I
Yeah.
rip it up? Do I take the loss? Do I risk
Right.
the next time I use it,
You start thinking,
I
who
get
could
arrested.
I give this to?
I've already been
tip
told
somebody or something.
Yeah,
or-
right. So you know what? In the end, I think I did the right thing. I spent it at the Chinese restaurant, and I got $90 back.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, I'm a
This
good
is all
guy.
make believe, guys.
I'm a good guy, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, look, I'm a schnook.
Yeah. That's funny. No, I literally ripped it up. I was like, I don't even want to accidentally spend it or try to spend
Nah,
it.
dude, I
or-
live on the edge.
Yeah.
I live on the
Yeah.
edge.
live
I
on the-
speak like
So by the way, tonight
I
we
speak
did
like Caitlyn Jenner.
we did a couple of gigs. You know, we're warming up. We're getting ready for that big Burbank date. You know, we're gonna do Flappers, Yoo-Hoo Room, Flappers, Burbank, Friday night, 7:30 sharp. 7:30 sharp. So, you know, as you said, sometimes you got to just go out and you find little spots that where you can like work on your material and then say good night. Like I don't want to go out and just do
Right?
stuff I
Yeah,
already
yeah.
know
No,
that works.
I'm on a little bit
know?
of a different path. You're at the nicer clubs that pay and there's big crowds.
But still, I like to go. Like tonight, I like to every
Yeah,
now and then I'll find
okay.
a spot
But
that
I'm
doesn't.
saying
Yeah.
a lot of mine are, not all of them, but I don't mind getting down in the dirt. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like tonight we did one that
Tonight was a wacky gig.
as I
where-
drove
yeah,
past
yeah,
it. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
what went through my head. So I get a
Yeah.
gig at a brewery through this gentleman, and I'm like, okay, yeah, why not? And I'm pulling up, and it's really in a back industrial make a right. Was there really going to be a nightclub here? Like it looked like all rentals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the streets empty.
Yeah, yeah,
And all of a sudden, there's this huge mock castle that looks like Laughlin, Nevada, built in 1965. And I see a couple of wooden tables out, and I go, "Ha! Imagine if that was the place." And I drove past, and all of a sudden, my phone went beep. You passed it 300 feet. So yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah, so it's funny.
Can I tell you? So
can I tell them? Yeah, let's,
Go ahead.
Let's just. I think I know what you're
you
about
go
to
ahead.
say.
You could paint the picture.
Okay, so this gig is one of those shows where they're like, she's like, "Hey, Darren, do you want to do it? We do it every other Thursday. It's from 7 to 8:30. Has to be done by 11:30, by 8:30 because they close sharply at 9." And I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm thinking, yes, I'll do it. And I let them know if I have anything else coming up, I'm gonna probably go do that. But just so I have a place to like try out new bits, I'll go there. And of course, it's Thursday, and I'm like, well, no bits, no shows came through, so I'll go down there. And I always ask if I can have a couple of spots for friends that want to,
Yeah, that's very nice of you.
because I like to do that. I want to help my friends out. It's just great. It feels good. Stage time is valuable. It's very valuable. So you were available. I go, you want to go down there? Boom. And so I think this gig, they take if there's any kind of donations or any kind of money, it goes towards some animal shelter or something.
It goes to a 3-legged dirty hyena pit bull
Yeah.
named Chaos that has 15 prison tats,
Yeah.
4 felonies,
Right.
and was found chained to an axle on Michael Vick's property 13 years ago.
Yeah. So you do.
But he's good with children.
Right. So this gig, I've only done it one other time, and I remember I loved it. Like the lighting was weird. It was like something out of a mechanic would use. Like they got down at the AutoZone
Yes,
or something.
without a doubt.
And when I did it last time, there was more people and there was more animals, and it was like people bring their animals because it's outdoors, and plus it's California, So, and there's like a food truck there, so it smells good, and I go on last, and for some reason I'm super duper comfortable there. I don't know why. I just tell stories that I wanted.
Yeah, it's nice. It was fun. The
know
mic
what I mean?
worked good. The lights worked good.
So you got there first because you had to get out of there and do your second gig. I get there towards the end because I'm going to close the show.
No,
And,
I went up first.
Tell the audience what
I
you
went up
told me.
first, and I got there 5 to 7, and at 7 o'clock, someone already said, "Okay, this is John DiResta. Can he go up first?" Yes, and this is what everyone's doing. Real brief, and I just said, I said, "Is this it on the audience? Is this?" I mean, and granted, we're outside, we're in a park, and someone said, "This is the parking lot." I never realized that.
Yeah.
Because they set up that hapless furniture.
Yeah.
That shaky wooden furniture
With all the
splinters.
picnic tables and all that stuff, yeah.
Splintery. But it's none of my beeswax with the splinters. And I said, "Is this it on the audience?" And the 2 people that booked it, one really excited went like this. We're up to about 8 people. And the other person got real excited and said, "And 2 dogs." I've been doing this 30 years. And tonight I'm being told to be excited that there's 2 dogs in the audience.
8 people and 2 dogs.
Yeah, it's like a, you know what it is? It's like it's like a mullet.
Yeah.
Isn't there some ratio in there?
Party
80,
in the
20?
front. Yeah, party in the front, business in the front, party in the back or something. But yeah, I know what you're saying, the 80-20. Yeah, when I got there, how many people? There might have been like, I think there was still 2 dogs, and I think I was up to like 14 people. You know, it's like, so I don't know. But here's the thing: the lights are so bright, you could make believe that the place was packed.
No,
you know?
see, watch this.
Yeah.
I went up and the sun was still just going down, so I could see everybody, and the light was kind of nice. Believe it or not, you know, right at like whatever 7:13. That, you know, just as the sun's going down, the lights actually worked. It was like, ooh, look, the sun's down, and we got the little spotlight. At least they thought of that.
Yeah.
But
I told the money story, but before I went in, because I just wanted to like just air it out and just say what it was like. And so I asked, "Has anybody here found money?" Like, and I said, like more than $1, more than $5, more than. And so some lady was like, she started clapping. She's like, "I found $100 bill when I was 16." And I said, "What happened?" She goes, "I was with my mom and my brother. We were in a grocery store parking lot, and I go, 'Mom, look, $100 bill.'" And I go, "Oh, that's so cool." And she goes, "Yeah, my mom took it and donated it." I go, "Your mom took the $100 bill that you found and donated it?" She's like, "Yeah, she was trying to, you know, teach me a lesson." And I go, "Let me ask you this." I go, "That was a few years ago. Did you learn any lessons? Have you donated hundreds of dollars?" And it was hilarious. Everyone started laughing, and she's like, "No, but tonight I will to this animal shelter," or something.
Well, I don't want to pat myself on the back. I don't want to dislocate my shoulder. But just now I got off the 101 at Laurel Canyon to make the left. And there was a nice old guy. I gave him a 5-ski. Now looking back, I should have gave him more.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, up in not Van Nuys, Valley Glen. You know what we're talking?
Yep.
Coldwater and Victory, Valley Glen, the movie theater over Century 8. I gave another gentleman a $5 bill. So,
oh, that's good.
yeah, there's no punchline. You know, it's just showing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good, right? It feels good.
I always try and give him food, like whatever. You know, I always carry extra food.
I wanted to ask you about that's. You know, I haven't done it in a while, but I would carry like extra like socks or like things that you know what I mean, especially when it's cold. That way, it's like, hey, here's something. I wanted to ask you this. So I know you had your own sitcom, but I have so many questions about that. Number one, can we see it anywhere? Is there?
I have 17 episodes on Betamax in the attic here under the hockey sticks for 13 years. No one's seen it. No one's looked at it.
Yeah. Do you ever like?
A lot of people say I should get it transcribed into and put on, but I'm afraid to do a lot of that work because I don't own the content. It could be, you know what I mean?
You don't wanna,
it could be shut down, I guess. I don't know how that works. But yeah, we did 17 episodes, fall of 98 to the spring of 99.
Wow.
That was based on my life as a New York City transit cop. And, you know, a lot of people think having your own sitcom is the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of the whole human race.
Yeah.
But when it, you know, when it's not successful and then everyone just like rats jumping off a ship.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's, I'm over here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I saw it from the get-go. Like, you know, you're making all this money and they're trying to make you famous. And you're like, you know, these jokes, a few jokes that are written, I'm like, they're not in my taste. They're not in my rhythm. They're not even, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'll give you an example. Just one line. It said, like, the pilot was, "Oh, we need extra money to send the kids to school, so I have to work nights. I got to switch to midnight so my kid can get a better," you know what I mean? Because I got a heart of gold. Pound it.
Yeah.
Right? I want my kid to go to the good school, so I'll work nights and make an extra 10%. And I forgot why we brought that up.
You said that the lines weren't accurate.
Oh,
They didn't seem.
And the name of the school, thank you for that. The name of the school that they wrote was the Oaks. We want to pay for the Oaks. And I just said the rhythm of that is, this is at the table read afterwards, before they stopped having me stay.
Yeah.
I said, it's just funny if it said, and the 10% money is going to go directly to the Pine Tree Learning Center.
Yeah.
And everyone laughed. And I said, see, the Pine Tree Learning Center sounds even, it has more mustard
Pine
than
Tree.
the Oaks.
The Oaks. Yeah, the Oaks doesn't sound good.
And guess what it was named after? These temporary hotels for people that come in pilot season.
Yeah.
They couldn't even think
couldn't even think beyond.
the Halahua in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know that one hotel?
Yeah.
That's like in Burbank.
Yeah.
That has a surfboard in the front. The Takahuki.
Whatever it's called. Yeah. Safari Inn or something.
Yeah.
What about this? What about like Wellington Prep? Would that be funny? Or Crevings, like Wellington Prep, or something that sounds very...
No, because the kid
wanted to go
the kid is like three years old.
Oh, yeah.
No, you got to prep it with that.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like some in someone's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giving them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the crust cut off.
Wow.
For $400 a week.
Where did you go? What lot did you guys film it at?
Paramount, stage 23. Maybe you heard of a little show called Taxi.
Yeah.
Maybe you heard of Dice Clay's sitcom on UPN. And those are stage 23. And you know how I know that? I had the main kind of bigger dressing room. Couch, a desk, a TV.
Yeah.
It's like green room. And I had the biggest one because the show was called DiResta. And I had my own bathroom. You follow me now?
Oh, yeah. You're like Elvis at the Caesar's Palace.
I got my own bathroom. And when you shut the door, there's a hook. And it's only this high. No one ever has a hook this high.
Right.
Unless you're sharing the same dressing room as Danny DeVito. Pound it.
Oh, wow.
Who's the asshole now?
History right there.
Yo,
what did it feel like? Were you taking the
Come on, Bobby.
Were you driving up the 405 going, I'm going to work. I'm going to
Dude, there was a billboard
show.
outside of Paramount.
Wow.
You know the corner of Melrose and Gower?
Yeah,
There's two billboards and 4 this way?
Yeah.
There's a billboard with my face on it for like 9 months.
Wow, that must have felt amazing.
You know.
And when you get off work after the shoot, did you go down to the Hollywood Improv and like, hey, I just got off the set, you know?
It's funny you ask. No, I wasn't really in. I was more concentrating on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
But then my stand-up got very stale because I went from being this broke transit cop that can't pay the bills to now I live by Mulholland. So things got to change.
Yeah.
It was like Twisted Sister in 1987. They had nothing to gripe about. Mm-hmm. So they came out with Be Cruel to Your School. Pound it.
Be cruel to your school.
Do you remember that?
No, but
Come
it just
Out
sounds
and
funny.
Play was their last album.
Wow.
The Kids Are Back. Come on, you know that song.
So I'm talking to this guy that books a club, and he told me, and I quote, TV and movie credits don't mean shit now. He's like saying like who's selling tickets as far as comedy goes. He goes, it's TikTokers, it's podcasters. And as he's telling me this, he walked me to my car. There's a line of people waiting to see The Late Show, and the person that was performing was a female podcaster who has a huge following. I never even heard of the podcast.
Listen,
You know?
watch this. In a strange twist of fate, maybe they'll keep the comedy clubs open.
Yeah.
So we can still kind of rush
I
through.
know.
You know what I mean? Well, all we're doing is running through for 20 minutes, but, let's hope it's still there.
Yeah, I know.
No, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the way I look at them.
I'm like, yeah, they're keeping the clubs open so we can go play in parking lots for dogs.
Yeah, dude. No, watch
just-
this. I take on every gig because it's always a funny story.
Yeah.
I mean, look at tonight. Someone was excited to tell me that there's 2 dogs in the audience.
I know.
Like a legit excitement.
Yeah. Dude, right before I went on, they had one of the dogs do dog tricks. And so they could do giveaways.
Okay, well, I can top it. You know how we've all done these weird gigs, a funeral, and now we have a comedian. Everyone's got that one. Family events when you're new. Hey, there's a mic. You go. Why don't you try? And bomb. Nothing. It takes you years to learn that they're never going to laugh.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm even.
It's
tonight,
just not the right spot.
Yeah. And tonight I even did a little bit of my. I did all the new stuff and just casually talked and and got a lot of laughs that way and then I did some new stuff, and then I got into this one part where it's a bit that I already know is really funny, but I was like, well, I'm already talking about this topic. Let me just, and it was funny. I hardly got any laughs, and I'm thinking, But if I was a new comedian, I wouldn't know. I would be like, "Oh, that joke isn't funny," but I already know. I've tried
the mechanics of it.
I've tried. I already know it's funny, but it's like it's just weird. Like that environment, it's too easy. I actually there was a point where I stepped out of the light to see the crowd. Some of them were petting their dog, looking down. Some are looking at their phone. You know what I mean? It's more casual. It's passive listening as opposed to when they pay good money and they're in a nice
without a
venue.
doubt. But I did watch. This is what I noticed tonight, because the sun was just going down behind the building, the White Castle.
And by the way, as you say this, that's all good practice, because whenever I've opened for like a big star outdoors, they usually put the opening acts. They time it to where the opening acts go on when the sun's up, and then as the sun goes down, right when it gets dark, that's when they have the little brief intermission, and then the headliner comes out when it's all dark.
Oh, okay. But I saw, and now in the old days I wouldn't want to see this, but I saw everyone's face. So I could see, and there was two guys, like, were they to your left? They look like bikers. They look really like,
those guys probably either were inside drinking or had left.
No,
I didn't see them.
They look like real hardcore, like,
wow,
guys you'd see on Cops, and they wouldn't shut up. And I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
But I did one joke, and the two of them kind of howled out. And I was like, okay, if I got those two to at least hear that joke.
Yeah.
And they both howled out. So,
do you remember the joke?
I don't, but I do know that, like I said, there was two dogs in the audience. It's one of those deals.
When I asked the thing about the money, this lady, she goes, I one time found 50 euros, and I was like, I wouldn't even know what a euro looked like. And she goes, Monopoly money. And I go, I would have just left it there. Then I told a story about how when I'd go to Canada, I remember sometimes you get Canadian money, and then you'd come back to America, and then the value goes down. You're like, dang. Although one time I bought a Starbucks card up there for $100. Bought a $100 Starbucks gift card, and then I don't know if something happened. The wires got crossed. I came back to my local Starbucks, and it was $130.
Wow.
Yeah, I looked on the receipt. I'm like, wow. So then the wheel starts spinning. I'm like, dang, I got a new side business. I'll get booked. I'll get booked in Canada, and I'll just buy a bunch of gift cards of Canadian, and have all this coffee money and sell it to people. But then the second time that I used the card, it adjusted and went down to like $61 or something. I know.
Not even a good ending.
I know. I was like, oh.
Come on, who's zooming who? Oh. All right, my old passport had two stamps on it. One Hong Kong, one Canada. I was in Canada for 24 hours to shoot a scene in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And I shared the set with Chris Robinson from the Black Crows.
Oh, cool.
And it was just him and I for about a half hour in a backyard in Canada. And he never looked at me, and he never said hello. Do you know why?
Why?
He thought I was an extra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No offense against you guys.
Yeah. No, I'm not. You guys aren't offended. I'm not offended by you guys. You extras.
Hey, dude, I met a guy the other day, and I go, "What?" I go, "So what brought you to Hollywood?" And as he's shaking my hand, he gives an extra squeeze and goes, "I'm a background artist."
Oh, jeez.
It's nice to meet you.
I'm a featured extra.
Yeah, the whole plot twisted that one look.
That's funny.
And who's the hero? Who they all say.
Yeah.
At least they used to. Hold on, here it comes. Bruce Willis was an extra.
Oh, that's funny.
One day, this is a true story. American Body Shop, a show for Comedy Central with Nick Offerman. Extremely funny before he did with the shows he's doing. And we came to lunchtime, and there was a long line already, and someone just grabbed me, and we get to cut the line, with the cast.
Yeah.
We get, it is what it is, right? So I cut in front, and there was a guy dressed as like a Harley Davidson mechanic, tattoos, like real tough Mexican dude, like, right out of like, Sons of Anarchy, the Mayans.
Yeah.
And he goes, you got lines? Mm-hmm. I said, what? He goes, because I cut in front of him. You got lines. I go, you mean in the movie line? He goes, yeah, you got lines? I said, I do. He was like all impressed. Oh. That's the way he,
Oh.
He got lines.
Wow.
And then he goes to me, how you get that? Lines.
I remember when I was on the Jamie Foxx show, And when you first get to a set, well, I guess unless you do a lot of sitcoms and you're there and you're just used to it. You're always a little nervous, like your first day of school, because you don't know who's who and people with clipboards and glasses, and they're telling you to go wardrobe and makeup.
Yeah,
and
right. And all of a sudden, it's your scene.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, dude. Yeah.
Two things that happened are weird, and I want to ask you more about your sitcom. But one thing was weird is on that episode I play a gangster, right? Like I had the baggy like FUBU style clothes and the hat, and I'm like, what up? My character was like Jamie Foxx. There was a crime scene on the street. He played a news reporter. Can anyone tell me what happened? And then my character's like, I saw the whole thing, homie. I was out there. The boy, he stepped off. I was like, damn. I was like this. Hey, what up, player? Like that kind of character. And then his punchline, he goes, ice, ice, baby. It kind of pushes me away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have all these lines like this kind of character. And so when I'm in wardrobe and they're putting the clothes on me, they're like, you looking good? Oh yeah, you looking good. And I remember somebody made a joke like, they're like, damn, he looked like a straight up gangster. And then they went, until you get to the face, and everyone laughed, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny because I look like, Opie Taylor or whatever, like,
right.
Howdy Doody. So I go from the trailer, go to the set, and as I open the set, these two black ladies, they had clipboards. They go, stop. And she's kind of like looking me up and down like, okay, all right, yeah. Just like, okay. And then she goes, okay, looking like a gangster. And then
That's funny.
And I stole the line that was just said to me. And she goes, okay, looking like a gangster. And I go, until you get to the face.
There you go.
And then they go, honey. Gangsters come in all shades and colors. And I was just like, all I could picture was like, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just heard that in the other room. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you felt that bad?
Yeah, I felt bad. No, but I didn't act like it. I was just like, oh yeah, I was just making a little, and then they walked away and it was all good. So I was like, damn. So then next stop, I walk in. I think the assistant producer or I forget the name, but they told me the assistant director, okay, hey Darren, okay, go over and enjoy your breakfast at craft service. We have eggs, omelets, bagels. Go enjoy it. And then then after that you can go to your dressing room. Perfect. So I go over to craft service, and now I guess the guy thinks I'm an extra, and he goes, no, this is for the cast only.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm in the cast. No, you're not. I know the cast, and you're not in the cast. And I was like, well, I had an audition. Like I'm playing in. You had not. You're. I go, yeah, I'm playing, and I said the character's name. He goes, oh, okay, go ahead then. And then he just like turns around and starts doing his work. But I felt so like, oh my gosh, I'm like, everywhere I turned, I felt like I was going to mess up and do something wrong, and it wasn't really welcoming. In other words,
can I share my experience?
Yeah.
My first real gig on a TV set was Law and Order. Maybe you heard of it.
Dun dun.
With Jerry Orbach and Benjamin Bratt. And I get hired because at the time I weighed 240. And the joke is, the joke is with the two main guys that someone got shot 5 times. Thank God he had a vest on. And they look up at me and go, he don't need a vest. He could take 6 right to the midsection and he'd be at work the next day with a donut in his hand. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, you got me. Shing. And so it's my first time ever, and I totally given all the power away. Like you say, just giving it away. Just giving it away. And finally, that's action, and Jerry Orbach's looking at a stolen watch like this, a Rolex, 2Ks, $10, Canal Street.
You could tell. And
he's looking at it, and I'm over his shoulder, and on the first take, I flubbed the line, and it's like 3 words, you got me, and I was like, brr, and in that big brr, that seemed like it was 1,000 seconds long till I was going to hear he's fired, who hired him. I thought if you flub a line, you get fired. That's for some reason, like that's how important I used to think TV and movies were.
Yeah.
Until you get there and there's a bunch of dicks running around with rubber pistols. So I flubbed the line, and I'm expecting here, cut, who fucking, seriously. And Jerry Orbach never looks up. He's looking at a stolen watch, and he goes like this to me. Just say it again. The line is, you got me. And I go, that's it? He goes, yeah, say it like 4 times.
Oh.
And that was it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like...
Did they? So they just kept it rolling, or did
yeah,
they
yeah,
go,
that's what I'm saying. They never even
take
yelled
4.
cut.
Oh,
no,
wow.
no, they never yelled cut.
that's
So
so
now
cool.
I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
now they didn't yell cut, and he's talking over the film. You could talk over the film,
Yeah.
dude. In 15 minutes, when I get shot and I'm rolling around the streets of New York with 500 people watching me. While the camera's rolling, I told you this. The director yells, "Lift up your fucking face so the camera can see your face." And I'm thinking, whoo. They never yell while it's rolling ever.
Yeah,
I must have really jacked this up.
Yeah, because they probably added some music or this or that during the scene. And,
it's just.
well, you know, one thing I tell you, I remember something I learned in acting class. They were like, "Put yourself on tape, practice a lot on tape." And back then it was a little harder to do this. But now, like as I'm filming myself all the time, or even for my son Austin, aka AusTheBassBoss on YouTube. Click that link, AusTheBassBoss. So. We would, especially when we first started filming his videos, he would, he's playing music, so he's got to sing, play the song, and sometimes you flub, right? So he'd go take, so he would cut it, and so we'd have 20 different and I'm like, this is kind of a pain. So that's what we learned. We learned to do, you just keep the camera rolling, and then you can just, if you flub it, you just.
Yeah, it can always come back.
Just keep the camera rolling, man. It's way easier than starting everything, stopping, starting. And I only know that because I do this a bunch now.
Dude, yeah, well, you edit and you do a good job. I don't know how to do that. That's why all my videos are 1 minute long on Instagram. For me, that's just the easiest. Dude,
I want to thank you for doing these. The Fred Flintstone audition, and then even the blooper one where I give you the lines for the
Rocky,
and you drop the thing. And
this ain't all sunshine and roses.
That's right. It ain't about hard you can hit. It's about hard you can get hit and keep on and moving forward. My son really liked yours because he said when I did it, he goes, I liked yours, Dad, because you sound like Rocky. But he liked yours because he goes, he could hear and understand every word with your New York accent.
Oh yeah, dude. I speak in what John Mulrooney calls a clipped rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, at first
I'm one of the Jerky Boys. Yeah. You remember them?
Yeah.
This is tearing the ass out of me.
That's cool, man.
I'll sue everybody. Bring all your shoes.
So, how was the bowling alley gig tonight that you tried your?
Well,
stuff
I don't want to brag.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring it up.
By the way, real quick, I'm doing a really good bowling alley on Wednesday, Simi Valley. I don't know the date, but it's May 25th, I want to say. Simi Valley. Click the link in my bio. Come see me, Simi Valley. Boom, there you go. And that's a good one. They have this, people pay to get in. And,
can I come?
Yeah, Simi Valley, May 25th.
Can I put that down?
Yes, you can.
Dude, fantastic.
May 25th. Hold on.
You want to hear a quick... I know I drop a lot of names.
Simi Valley Rockin' Pizza or something like that. It's called, Simi Valley Rock and Roll Pizza. Rock and Roll Pizza.
All right. Well, watch this. Watch your feet because I'm going to drop another name. It could cut your toe off.
Okay.
The first day I ever met Robert De Niro in Culver City at a studio in a big hangar, no furniture, it looked like an airplane hangar.
Yeah.
And there was 8 of us in the corner going over a little thing. And that night is the first time I ever entered Simi Valley. I did a gig in Simi Valley. And I talked about meeting Robert De Niro just earlier that day in my set. So Simi Valley has a special, and a lot of people call it Slimy Valley. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Oh, it's a very catchy name, Slimy Valley.
Slimy Valley. I didn't know that. I know that they used to, that freeway up there is fairly new. So whenever they shot a lot of television shows in the 70s. I think MASH, Little House on the Prairie, Chips. And on Chips, because there'd be 5 lanes and it's all clean, no traffic, they'd shut it down. And that's where you'd see dun, 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 dun.
And that's going down into the valley
that's
of
the
Simi?
the 118. The 118 freeway.
Oh, yeah. I was on that today. I was on the 118 today, and I was on the 118 yesterday to get special wood. Yeah, so that's it.
That's it, man. Anything else, or we could wrap up this bad boy?
Any questions from the audience?
I forgot to ask questions to the audience. If you're watching now, leave a comment below, and we'll ask it next week. And if you guys are on iTunes, do us a favor, give it 5 stars and a review. It's very easy to do. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't have to remember when the podcast's out. You just go to Spotify, boom, you'll get the notification. iTunes, you'll get the notification. YouTube, you get the notification. And we appreciate everything you guys do. Anytime we get a comment, anytime you pay it forward and spread the love, you hit the thanks button, you share the links. We're going to get Jimmy.
Share the love.
Share the love. We're going to get Jimmy on here.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Jimmy, does he go to bed late? Because it's going to be a time zone difference.
We could prep him for it.
Okay.
He wants to help.
Okay, good.
He's and he always has funny stories.
That's great. And we'll do that on Zoom.
People think that I'm him.
Oh,
Did I tell you that?
Of course. And so I think what we'll do with that, it'll be.
Can I tell you again?
No. We'll have. I think I'll bring the computer and then we'll be on Zoom. So you and I have to sit like side by side, all weird, and then he'll be in another window. But it'll be okay. We can put up with that.
I can go in the next room. I have a little studio this way.
That way, and then you'll be on your computer.
Maybe I could be on mine, just so we don't have to sit like butt buddies.
But then can 3 people? Okay, we'll figure it out.
I don't know. We'll
practice.
This is your job.
I know. And also, we could only do 40 minutes on Zoom because I do the free version. So it'll be.
I don't even know what that means.
It means after 40
you don't
minutes,
even have to explain it. But
I know.
40 minutes goes quick when we do this.
I know exactly.
Doesn't it?
It does.
10:13.
10:13. We got a 10:13.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Hey, what about you?
That's funny.
Do you have any questions for me? I'm always asking you questions.
Yeah. What was your first stand-up gig ever? First night.
Funny you should ask. Okay, my first stand-up gig ever, first night, was at a place called. It's not even in there anymore, and there was 5 people in the audience, no dogs. And
Zing.
I remember the guy that brought me up. He's a really cool guy. His name is JD. He was in a wheelchair, and he rolls out there, introduces me, and I thought I had to stay in character the whole time. And I also came from the world of radio, where in radio they don't believe in dead air. So I did
you rushed through everything.
Oh my gosh. I walked out pretending I was Eddie Murphy, and that my big bit back then was because I had bright red hair. And so my big bit, and this is how long ago it was, Ted Turner was colorizing a lot of black and white movies, Gone with the Wind.
Right,
He's
so
colorizing.
you were...
So I came out as Eddie Murphy, and I'd been colorized by Ted Turner.
Oh,
so I had bright red hair, freckles, and I was doing the laugh like, Ted Turner colorized. Like I was pretending I'd been in the makeup chair for 8 hours, and he painted my skin orange and freckles.
Now, was that working, or you just thought it was funnier than it was?
No, it was actually, it used to work back then. You got to remember, this is like...
No, I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I'm saying it was 1989.
I love Eddie Murphy.
A young, skinny kid with the red hair. Like the laugh was funny.
Eddie Murphy's father was a New York City transit cop. Thank you.
Connections.
Yo.
Yeah, it was cool. So anyways, my point is, I used to do this thing in school. Like I was on the forensics team. It's like the speech and debate team. It was called original prose and poetry. So I would do this 10-minute comedy routine. It always crushed. I'd win medals. I won state. I got to go to nationals. So I knew I was funny, but I'd never used a microphone back then because you're broadcasting your voice just by
okay,
like that and stuff like that. So it was so the first time I used the microphone, the guy in the wheelchair was like, Darren Carter, and he rolls off, and the microphone had like a butterfly clip. So I go to take the mic out of the mic stand, and the thing snapped down on it and went like something you'd see like you'd close your potato chips with.
Right.
And so I couldn't figure out how to get this mic, and I was all nervous, and I thought I had to keep talking because no dead air.
Right.
And I go to lift the mic stand, and it was a musical mic stand, so I had like those 3 prongs. It looked like a bird's leg.
Right.
So as soon as I lifted, they closed.
And now it was too high.
And now I can't even set the damn thing down anymore because the legs closed and the mic was stuck and the fingers closed. And I'm like, hey, JD, come out here. I don't know how to get this mic. And so this dude, his experience, he actually used to play at the Comedy Store. He rolls back out there and he's like, geez, Darren. And he just pinched it so the thing could escape the thing, and he hands me the mic. I did my comedy and it just went by like a blur. Then good night. So I sucked. I basically sucked. Nobody was laughing really, and it was awful. The second time, I don't remember that either. But the third time is when I finally did good. Third time, there was a real crowd. The first 2 times, there was no crowd. Third time, I was at Fresno State. It was at a on-campus bar. It was called The Bucket.
Okay.
And it was a comedy contest put on by Doritos and Certs. And if you won, you got to go to Florida.
It was a big deal.
Big deal,
New
dude.
York's funniest cop.
Yes, except for college kids. And I went out, and my first line was like, it was a beer commercial. Do you like to drink beer? I mean, really like to drink
That's funny.
beer. And as soon as I went, do you like to drink beer? I didn't expect the crowd to cheer because they're supposed to cheer at the end.
Right.
And they cheered right there.
Did they throw you off?
They were like, yeah. No, I
ate it up?
I ate it up. They're like, yeah. And then I was like, I hammed it up. I go, I mean, really like to drink
there you go,
beer.
there you
and
go.
I had this whole thing
It's
where
funny.
I go, I'm talking hard hitting, heavy working, sledgehammer, jackhammer, dirty fingernail, lunch pail, tobacco chewing, sideburn shaving, cussing, swearing, spitting, stomping, stunning, running, gunning, hooting, tooting. When I'm doing this, and they're like, yeah, beer for, this is how long ago it was. I go, beer for a real man, a man like Ben Cartwright, John Wayne, Roseanne Barr.
There you go.
And I said the Roseanne Barr, which I would never do now. But then I thought it was funny because she was, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
apologize.
And so then I go from that into my next bit, which was, I forget exactly the next bit, but I did all this. It was all impersonations and TV because I was a kid. I was 18, 19 years old. So it'd be like, you know, Kermit the Frog, A Nightmare on Sesame Street, because, you know, like Nightmare on Elm Street was popular.
Yeah.
And so I'd do that. Then I would do
Dirty Kermit.
No, I didn't do anything dirty
No,
back
I'm
then.
only
Really,
joking. That's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. I did Popeye.
Can you suck my cock?
Exactly. You know, like, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. You know, come here, sausage butt. You know, I kept it all clean and. You know,
Oh, honey. Oh,
Ray Romano.
oh, honey, the baby. Oh.
and you know, I probably did this before for you before. I did this. I used to do this like cartoon rapping thing where I'd be like, blows me down. I couldn't be hipper. Shiver me timbers. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
Chippendale stripper.
I'm good with the Popeye.
Kermit the Frog and I'm covered in green. Miss Piggy is fat, that's F-A-T, but it's my prerogative. Well, my name is Bullwinkle. I'm a moose. Give me the mic and I cut loose cause me so horny. You know.
Get along.
Yeah, dude.
Don't worry.
Be hacky. I know. But you gotta remember, dude, it was 89.
No,
I
it's-
was
it's fantastic.
19. It was like,
Dude, it's funny. It's
it would
killing me now.
crush. It was like, do you want to buy a t-shirt?
I don't do Venmo.
Okay, cool. Hey, what if I was homeless? Would you give me $5?
I would.
Thank you. I'm not. So
I would.
But anyway, so yeah, that was, dude, that doing that little routine got me to open for the New Kids on the Block when they came through Fresno.
And you said that one went bad.
Yeah, that one went bad. That one went bad because it was like, you know, they're all kids. They were all like 9-year-old girls and under.
And you
I'm-
said you
yeah.
just rushed through your set with like no pauses and no one got it.
Yeah, they were like, because I knew
There was no connection.
Every time I mentioned New Kids on the Block, the crowd would go nuts. So I'd be like, hey, it's a great opening for the New Kids. Yeah, all right, they're gonna be out here, the New Kids. Yeah, and then the second I started doing material, boo, like I'm keeping them from. But so that made me gun shy. But after that, I got to open up for bands and musical acts that were more mature, and I found that was way easier. After you're baptized by fire, opening for like teeny boppers, it's. I mean, imagine if right now, if you doing your act had to open up for like BTS.
Well, watch this.
Yeah.
The closest I ever got to that with young kids is, two incidents. One time I was in a post office and I was broke, so I had to get money orders, like to pay electric and gas, like they were not taking my checks anymore.
Yeah.
And there was a school of kids, like they were all like 7 years old, like 30 of them. And it was a class trip to the post office. And the postmaster goes, hey, this guy's John DiResta. He's a New York City cop and he's a comedian. Like, you know, for all the little kids to look at me.
Yeah.
And they go, can you say something funny?
Oh.
And I said, yeah, when you grow up, make sure you get good credit so you don't have to buy any of these. And I held up like 4 money orders for like $44 and $65.
Yeah.
And they all just looked at me and I was bombing. I literally thought, oh, man, this is dead silence and I'm only one joke in.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple of weeks to realize they just didn't get the joke.
Yeah. Right. Dude, I know.
That's all. They didn't get it.
So back then, so anytime that I don't know what I would do now. I mean, I don't know what I would do now. But for a long time, when there was, I'd be in that situation. I would just do like a Scooby-Doo impression or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, or something, and they'd laugh. And then, or I'd do a Bart Simpson or something. But
Yeah, I've been pulled over by cops that will say, I can tell them
Yeah.
I'm an ex-New York City cop and an ex-New York City transit cop, 2 police departments, 2 police academies. I don't know if you know that. And they'll say, tell me a joke, and I'll let you out of it. Their demeanor changes. Oh, New York City cop and comedian.
And it's hard to do your act, so what do you
Nah,
tell them like
you
a
gotta-
street joke?
Oh,
Or,
dude, street joke city. Come
Yeah,
on. Don't
yeah.
worry. Be hacky.
don't
Get out of a
worry.
ticket.
Do you have any clean street jokes you could say?
Why
a lot of your stuff is a little bit
was 6
racier.
afraid of 7?
Oh, I know, but tell the audience.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Oh, yeah,
How do
that's
you
a good
say
one.
the alphabet in Long Island?
How?
Fucking A. Fucking
That's good.
B.
Oh, it's good.
Fucking C.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not clean, but it's cleaner than those other ones that you could go to.
Yeah.
That's good. So
Yeah. It's all good.
And the cops will be like, all right, good, go ahead.
Yeah, but like a little. I mean, I have a couple of that are a little dirty, but we don't need to. We don't need any heroes.
One last thing before we go, and I think the camera did shut off, so but the audio's still rolling. You've lost a lot of weight. What is your tips and tricks for people to if they want to do what you do? Because by the way, before I get into this, I want to compliment you. My friend was looking you up after listening to the podcast and watching you on YouTube, and he goes, "Man, I was watching John DiResta's clips. He is so funny," and he goes, "He's actually better looking now than he was."
Oh yeah, dude! I found a photo.
Yeah, he said you look like a. No offense to anybody out there. He said you look like back then you look like a fat Irish cop.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Someone just sent me a photo the day I was inducted into the Hewlett High School Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I had to fly. I lived in Valley Village, right here on Whitsett, and I had to fly back to Long Island to be inducted into the Hewlett High School Hall of Fame. Me and like 4 other men and 1 woman. They got to.
How many dogs?
So I flew all the way back, and I remember the shirt I wore. And just yesterday, my daughter said, "Hey, when was this?" And it was pictures of the day I was inducted into the Hewlett High School Hall of Fame. And I got to be 260. I mean...
What year was that, you think?
My face was fat. Hold on, watch this.
Yeah.
My tongue was fat.
Really? No, but really, did you...
I couldn't even look at it. But my secret, I try not to drink alcohol. I try not to drink beer. I almost made a commitment that every drive-thru I go through is just to get an ice cold soda or a coffee. So I go to drive-thru a lot, but I'm trying not to buy any food there. Even if you buy it on a food truck, it's more fresh. Yeah. As they say in North Hollywood, it's fresh.
Well, I know you and I have done some gigs, and I'll be like, "Hey, let's get something to eat." And usually you haven't. You'll wait till you get home or something.
Oh yeah, all that kind of hanging out after the gig at the diner and all that. I'd rather be home, going back over my set.
Yeah.
And I'm not that hungry. I don't ever have a late night snack.
Dude, that's good.
Back then,
yeah,
every night at 11 was Chinese food, spaghetti. It was whatever was in there, but a full gazinga.
Yeah, because I do get hungry after sets. I don't know what it is.
And watch this. I was a New York City cop for 12 years. You get free food. And I was in the homeless outreach unit. So every now and then, you steal a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
And there's no condiment, no ketchup, no mustard. It's 2 days old. It's drier.
Oh, so it wasn't even that good, but you were like, it's free and it's right there. Yeah.
I think you stepped on my punchline.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Say it again. I know there's a punchline. Go ahead.
All right, so let's reset. The sandwich, it's 2 or 3 days old, white bread and just bologna. No ketchup, no mustard, no mayo. It's drier than a mummy's scrotum. Pound it. That's pretty dry.
How dry is it, Ed?
It's drier than a mummy's scrotum.
Oh, that is wild.
So watch this. Free food for 12 years.
Yeah.
Then the first 2 or 3 or 4 years as an actor in Los Angeles... there's free food on the sets, and there's a lot of free food.
And they're casting you to be the chubby guy. Or the
I'm
the lovable fat guy.
Yeah, and there's free food on the set, and, we were dining out.
Yeah.
You live in Studio City, two nights a week in a restaurant, 150, a wine bottle.
So I'm in this movie I'm going to be filming, right, in June, and I'm playing a correction officer. And I'm correct. I don't know if I'm guard 1 or guard 2. And even on the read through, they were like, they weren't really clear. But I know I'm doing this scene with Sean Kerrigan. Do you know Sean? Professional boxer. He's in all these movies, and he plays a coach. He's in shape.
Okay.
So, but one of the lines, the guard gets called fat. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be him or me, but we're not fat, so I don't know if they'll change it. But then I've been wanting to lose a little bit of weight for this movie thing, just so my shirts aren't tight, my stomach doesn't hurt, and but then I read that and I thought, oh, maybe I don't have to be so strict with my diet. But I don't want to do that though. I want to show up to the set feeling good,
I make again I just at least make an attempt. I try and have a salad I go to Tom's drive-thru. Do you know Tom's on Cahuenga in
Yeah.
Burbank? That little drive-through, and you can get like this little kind of salad for $1. That's fresh.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And it's only like $3.99.
That's great. A personal trainer that I follow online, he said every day eat one big ass salad.
Yeah.
You
See,
can
I
just
don't. I try
one big old salad.
I don't
every
eat
day.
it that often, but I did go food shopping 2 days ago, and one of the items I got was romaine lettuce.
That's cool.
I used to work produce at Key Food. You didn't know that?
No, that's good. All right, DiResta, thank you so much for the tips. Always love hanging out with you, and let's do this again next week. And we'll, man, I appreciate you taking your time out of your day, and I think the camera's off. So,
all right,
but
no, it's all good. Thank
the
you.
podcast is rolling, and you guys, thank you. Like I said, hit those links, reach out to us, share the podcast. If you want to donate. You know, Venmo, Cash App, it's all out there.
Just got to keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh, man. What's up?
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. And don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody.
Thank
Be
you.
careful.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.